Hello everybody, I'm Noah, and in today's video I'm going to be trying to teach you guys some beginner skills, tips and tricks for Adobe Lightroom. If you edit your photos mobily on an application like Lightroom Mobile or Visco, which is VSCO, a lot of these tips and tricks or skills or things I'm going to be talking about also can be used and executed in those programs. So you should definitely focus on those programs too. Don't think that this is only for PC or Mac users using Adobe Lightroom, although that is the program I'm using. So we have this picture here of a model. The photographer, aka me, did a bad job of kind of like getting her clothes to not look so baggy. Right now she kind of looks a lot thicker of a girl than she is. She looks a little chubby. We don't really want that. I'm sure she doesn't really want that. So we are going to do our best to get rid of that. So we're gonna crop that. Find a good crop. And now we're gonna actually edit to this crop so that we're editing things that matter in the picture. We're gonna add some orange or yellow because that's what I like to do, as well as some magenta. And now we're just gonna get into exposure and contrast. Exposure is how light or bright the photo is. So we're just gonna actually bring that down by 1. Actually, we'll do in between 1 and 2. We'll do 15 there, 0.15, and then our contrast will actually move up to probably about 20. Our highlights will go down. Michael Sterick, he's a photographer that shoots really great saturated sunset photos, kind of like travel photography, but he shoots a lot of it where he lives in California. But either way, he shoots great landscape photography. He just shoots great photos. You should follow him on Instagram. He is an inspiration. He has great tutorials. But yeah, he definitely suggests bringing your highlights all the way down. That's what he does in like all of his photos. We're going to bring them mostly down for this, but I typically do bring them all the way down. Our shadows will also bring down, and maybe our whites will bring up, and then our blacks can maybe stay the same. Actually, we'll bring our blacks down, bring our shadows up, and that's what we have. Clarity is going to make it either look like this if it's 100% or this if it's negative 100. We're going to do about 12, kind of just bring out some details. And then our vibrance we'll bring up to about 10, and we'll bring our saturation to 5. The tone curve, these are your whites, these are your midtones, your highlights here, shadows here, and blacks here. So we bring our whites down. Any true white is now going to become gray, and as you can see, it's just going to get darker and darker. Same with blacks. Any black is now just going to become lighter. You see it a lot on Instagram, but this kind of makes the photo look a little faded if we bring it up. Then we'll bring our shadows down just like so. This is what I kind of like. And then our highlights up, and now we kind of have an S curve going on. It looks good to me. I like it. I'm going to keep it. So now we get into our hue, saturation, and luminance. Obviously, this is a very sped up tutorial. You should spend a lot more time on these things. I kind of already know what look I'm going for with this photo as I've edited it multiple times, but these things I'm just kind of going over a brief overview. So for this, we are pretty much changing the color of her skin. That's the most important part here. If we kind of go for more yellow look, she looks a little bit more yellow, more red. You can see the reds in her face, but we'll just go 10 or 15 over towards yellow. Orange is also going to change a lot. For orange, I'm just going to move it a little bit in the orange direction. I think right here with -5 is pretty good. And now we would be adjusting the yellows, which doesn't do too much besides her hair. And I actually like it all the way to the left. Kind of changes this colors over here. Our green isn't really going to do much here. Our aqua isn't going to do much. Yeah, not really doing anything. Our blue is going to change the shirt, which will actually just kind of probably keep it the same. Magenta, purple changing the shirt, and the magenta will kind of change the shirt, but also some stuff in the background over here. But again, I'm going to keep that the same. When it comes to saturation, we can boost that red saturation up a little bit. as well as the orange, kind of just see what her face starts to look like. We don't want it to become too overly saturated. Our yellows, bring those up or down, see what you get there, bring those up. Oranges we can turn up some more, and you get a good looking background. So I will actually turn that up a little bit more than what I had it as. Blue, we're actually going to kind of go down to where our shirts looks maybe a little bit more gray. Just don't want that to distract the viewer from what we actually want out of the photo. When we look at our luminance now, when we turn our reds up, it kind of makes her face brighter or darker. I want to make her face a lot brighter. I think this looks pretty good, and it kind of does a good job of this little like glare, not glare, but like flare in a way, kind of that bright light. Our oranges we can bring down or up. That's a lot of our color actually, or a lot of our light, so I'm gonna bring those up a tad. Our yellows are kind of the same way, except down we kind of gain a little bit more detail, so I will bring those down quite a bit. The luminance of her shirt I will bring up quite a bit, and the purple and magenta colors I'll probably bring those up just to add some more color to the photo. Now with our split toning, you can pick any color within this array of colors. For me, I actually picked 306 when I edited this before, and at 90% saturation it makes it look disgusting. But at 5, it just kind of adds that purple look to the highlights. So in the highlights, as we move this up, they'll become colored. But 5 or 6 is pretty good in my opinion. We'll do 5. And now if we were to do that same with the shadows, we're going to take that same color. And now you can see it becomes very red very quickly, or very purpley. So if we add 5, that seems to be like 2 or 3 is probably our best bet. I'll actually go with 2. When it comes to our sharpening and noise reduction, although this was shot in 200 ISO, you can kind of see a little bit of noise for whatever reason. So I will actually reduce the noise just very, very, like really barely. And as you can see, once it loads, it kind of looks a little bit better. For anyone wondering, this is a before and after. So to me, it looks a lot better after than it did before. Her face does, I mean, to me her face looks pretty good, but nevertheless we can kind of bring down the saturation in our yellow and orange, and now maybe it looks a little better. I don't know, to me it looks fine, but we'll see how that looks. When it comes to lens correction, I'm really not going to be doing anything. I mean, I'll take this. All it's really going to do is, it literally is just making it brighter to me. And I don't know, to me that just kind of looks better. So I'll take it. Now that I'm kind of done, I'm going to go back up to our exposure and kind of mess with that. When I make that back to a 0, it is a little bright for my liking. But I do kind of feel like negative point, not 0.5, 0.05 will look good. To me, it really does. Go to our before and after. Looks pretty good. Now down here, the only other thing we really have are camera calibration, which we're not going to mess with, but it's kind of everything we already did. That actually kind of looks cool. Interesting look right there. But we'll keep it like this. Anyway, you could add grain if you wanted. Don't really want to. I'm not shooting that kind of photo. And then we can change our vignetting. Bring that down. You get a lot. Bring it up. You see the difference. We'll keep it normal. And so basically, we're kind of done with this photo. I think our crop is pretty good. I think the picture we got from our beginning to our end, we enhanced it in a little bit of ways, and now to me we have a way better photo. I plan on coming out with some other tutorials. Originally I recorded this and was gonna record all 4 of these pictures, but after only recording this as well as this photo, I was already at like a 25-minute video, and I'm not trying to do that. So if you stay tuned this long, If you stay tuned this long, this is what we have. Our final photo is this right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them down in my comments, or in the top right hand corner you can see all my social media, my website. Ask me a question there, email me, whatever. I'll help you out. Best way to get better at editing is to continue to do it, just like the best way to get better at photography is to go and shoot. So get out there and do stuff. We all need to do more of what we enjoy and get better at what we enjoy, myself included. So yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully gonna be releasing more videos more often, maybe weekly basis, maybe twice a week, whatever. I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned. We'll figure this out. This has been Noah. Deuces.